Okay, cool. So I just want to start off with a quote. All that you touch, you change. All that you change changes you. And the only lasting truth is change by Octavia Butler. I use this quote because I think about it as like as it relates to being a data analysis. Like every data set you touch is changed through cleaning, processing, and analyzing. Our work transforms raw data into actionable insights and and can lead into some impactful decisions. So I just like to start off with that. But just a little bit about me. My name is Shelby. I'm born and raised in the city of Detroit. I'm an urbanist. I'm an avid reader, always reading anything sci-fi, anything Octavia Butler, and I am a novice GIS user. Uh, in my work, we use GIS pretty often, but I'm more so like overseeing the team that uses GIS than actually using it. And then some just about my education and background. I got a bachelor's in urban studies from Wayne State and also a master's in urban planning from Wayne State. And previously, I've worked at the Eastern Market Partnership. The beginning of my career started off in food system planning. So, doing a lot of work about trying to understand Detroit's food insecurity and helping neighborhoods had better food security. Um, and then after Easter Market, I went over to the city of Detroit for the planning and development department. And in that role, I was a planner too, and I worked on the North End Framework Plan and the Corktown Choice Neighborhood Grant, um, which led me here to my current position at Detroit Land Bank Authority as the land reuse manager. Just quickly, a brief history about the DLBA. So the DLBA was founded in 2008, and it has evolved to meet the challenges posed by vacant and abandoned properties in the city. Around 2014, the DLBA expanded, and that's when we got most of our publicly owned residential property, and it was like consolidated into our inventory. And then around 2017, we had our peak. We had about 100,000 vacant land and structures in our inventory. And then, which brings us now to 2025, actually. And we have roughly about 65,000 vacant lots and about our structures are dwindling down. We have about 4,000 structures left. Here's just a quick numbers about our impact of the last 10, 11 years. So we've roughly sold about 28,000 vacant lots, about 20,000 structures, rehabbed about 12,000 structures, and demolished a little less than 30,000. Um, yeah, so for the DLBA, I am on the vacant land team. So my team only deals with the vacant land programs. And so I'll be mostly talking about what my team does, um, and what we use GIS for. So for my role, I have a lot of responsibilities in my duty in my role, excuse me. But the main duties that I have is to develop organizational and interagency vacant land strategies. So we work a lot with the city of Detroit. We provide GIS um, we provide maps for them and an analysis of our inventory, and we work together to find to do vacant land strategies in different neighborhoods. And then I also lead a team that works on all of our vacant land programs, and that team puts different properties into our pipelines, and we do a lot of efforts to reach out to the community and make sure they're in the know of what is available to them and what programs uh, they are eligible for. For our team here at the Land Bank on the Vacant Land team, we use GIS to help us maintain and have a visual of our data inventory. We also use it to do property analysis. Like I said, we work with the city to identify land assemblages for development. And we also put some properties into programming for residents. And then we also create interactive maps to show residents how they can purchase property and what properties are available in certain pipelines that we have. So we use GIS, but we also use a variety of other software tools. Our main tool we use is Salesforce. Salesforce is a CRM, and we put all of our data into Salesforce. All of our we have we use a lot of data from the city about parcel information. So we use Parcel Viewer, and then we also use a variety of different GIS tools like Eagle View and Mapillary to have visuals of the lots that we own. We write for my department, we write scripts and coding. We use that with Salesforce. We use Salesforce and write a script to help, and we use GIS to help us um, visualize the data that we have that we put into Salesforce. If that makes sense. I'm like all over the place with that. But yeah, and then we also use a lot of Excel, of course. And I'll get into our programs that we have available. For our first and main program is side lots. Side lots are vacant lots that are next to residents' homes. So in order for a lot to be eligible, it has to be rezoned residential. It has to have no delinquent taxes, and it has to be under 700 square feet, and it must be a vacant lot and not a structure. Demolition has to be complete, and it also has to have no demo liens that we're aware of. And it cannot be in a land review area. And I'll talk more about land review areas as we go on. And in order for a neighbor to be eligible for this program, they have to own a residential structure. They have to be adjacent to the lot. And then the house that they own has to be occupied and it has to be less than 4 units. And over here, you can see a map of like which lots would be eligible for side lots. So all the lots in green we call first adjacent. All of those lots, if they're vacant and owned by the DLBA, they're eligible for side lot. And then the ones in the yellow are also available to be a side lot, but you have to purchase the parcels in green before you can purchase the parcels in yellow for our side lot program. And then we also have oversized lots. So those are the lots that are over 7,500 square feet. Residents are eligible to purchase one of those and per year. And then they have to be street adjacent. So that has to be directly right next to your home. And then we have accessory structures. Sometimes garages are on separate parcels, and those come into our inventory. So we try to sell those back to residents who are using the garage. And then we have a program called Create a Project. This program is a program for community groups to acquire vacant land for community action. They're priced at $250 per lot, and community projects, the Create a Project program offers 4 lots for a project. And then these lots have to be listed as a neighborhood lot. And then the work we do with the city, we work with them to identify land assemblages, mostly through our land review areas. So these areas are areas that we coordinate with the city. So we place a hold on the lots. And there are different kind of hold types. So we have all structure and all lot holds, or we just have all vacant land holds. And the city usually puts our inventory on hold if they're doing like planning studies, so they can just get a better grasp of what's going on in the area. And if they're looking for places to do some economic development or agriculture development or any kind of development. And here's a map that we made of the current land review areas. Yeah, they're kind of all over the city. And then we have our own land review areas, which we call the inclusive housing opportunity areas, which are highlighted in blue. Those are areas we know that are having a lot of investment. So we put the land on hold, and residents are allowed to get up to one side lot in there because we know that those areas need a lot of housing opportunities. So we place holds on the land in those areas. And then we also have in green our jobs and amenities areas where there are parcels that are up to 20 square foot land assemblages where we want to see a little bit more development. And those are on hold, but residents are eligible to purchase. But we just call those out because we know that there are a lot of land assemblages in those areas. And then the lighter pinks, our project, well, the peach, I guess, our project coordination areas where there are areas we worked with the city, and those are like residents can still buy side lots in those areas, but they're just limited. And then in the darker peach area we have restrictive holds where the city are not selling any lots or structures in. And that's pretty much what goes on in the land reuse team. And then we are hiring for new positions within our team. But I would like to open up and have some discussion about the land bank and what we do here, if anyone wants to ask some questions. I know I kind of went over that fast, but we can go back. I think that there's one hand. Okay, go ahead.
Hey Shelby, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good. I remembered you right away. Since we had a team together, remember?
Yeah, we had a capstone together. Yeah.
Not capstone. The DIA design, puzzle design.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. That was such a long time ago. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm right now part-time faculty in the department now. So
Awesome.
trying to learn something, I can forward this information to the students. So I have a question for the one slide before the last one. You
Okay, let me
move
pull it
back.
back up. Mm, Sorry, I'm having like really bad internet today at work. Hold on one second. Just gonna pull that back up. If Teams will let me.
Yeah, I cannot see the screen anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
The one before the last.
Mm,
The map. The map. Yes.
yeah.
The green one.
Yeah.
I'm still not very understanding that what type of development those areas preferred
Yeah.
rest.
So for those areas, we are just looking at the land assemblages over 20,000 square feet. So we just like kind of put those on hold and we like section them off in those areas. And we just look for any kind of development. But we work with the city mostly to identify what the city is looking for. If there are framework plans in that area, we either try to market the land for a certain project or we just like kind of put it on hold for a project.
So your reference to decide those area qualify for green, the job and amenity development are what type of particular land use, like industrial?
No, we don't. We're not really looking at zoning. We're more so looking at the square footage of land assemblages. So do we have about, how much we're basing it off of land assemblages and like how many lots are available in that area. And we try to get up to 20,000 square feet of parcels together, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
I I think what you mean is so those area it could combine all the parcels all together as a bigger one, right?
Right. Yep.
And then there's no individual purchased any of the parcels within this area at all. You're like hold it. So whenever where
Right.
is a resident, a single house there, even though they are in the region, there's a program for side lot, but because they're in this region, they are not allowed to purchase any parcels.
We make exceptions for people. Like, if you're like the only house on the block, we don't want to break up our assemblage of like vacant land, but we'll definitely let you have the side lot closest to you and you can like, scale down if you want. If you want to keep buying side lots, we'll allow that. But primarily these are areas where there are high vacancies. There's like blocks and blocks of vacant land.
Okay. Do you have any other like insights? Like for example, like this area, if there's some very few houses, are they gonna be a higher potential that will be buy out by the new investors?
I'm sorry, one more time with that.
So see if those side lots combined as a bigger development, see
Hmm.
if it's a new industrial parks or something, then on those grandfathered in land, the houses inside of this area, actually they will be more likely like obstacles for the big development. So will you also discussing those is things like those things the houses the owners will be aware of their house and maybe potentially will be buy out or something, or just leave it like that?
Um, I want to make sure I'm understanding. You're saying that are we taking a look at if development comes into the area next to a house? I mean, are
Yes.
we letting the residents know of the development?
Yes, some of them will like eminent domain or something. They will if they are gonna develop and then only one house is in the region, then
Oh,
so they will be more likely be potentially be bought out. The house will be bought out by the investors, right?
no, not necessarily. I think what we are not the planning department, so we really don't like we're most so I feel like the land bank operates as a like real estate company. We'll sell the land to them, but it's as in for like development, actual developments happening. We don't let we're not how can I explain this? We're not doing any projects. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, and we're not notifying residents of projects. We're just like trying to figure out. We're just doing the analysis of our land and like where projects could go. And then if those are and we market land.
Okay. And then the next one is the project coordination area. So
Mhm.
what are these? Can you remind us what are
Yeah,
these?
so the project coordination areas are areas where we work with the city of Detroit, where the city of Detroit can actually work with us to place a hold on an area because they're doing a planning study or doing a little bit more market research on the area and they want us to put a hold on the land, but there's different types of holds that we have. So there's holds where we only just hold the vacant land, or there's holds where we hold vacant land and the houses that are in our inventory. um, we restrict the sale of those. When I mean hold, I mean we restrict the sale of our vacant land or houses. But the project coordination areas are like the lesser the less restrictive hold where residents can still buy their side lot, but they might not be able to buy like a neighborhood lot. And the neighborhood lots are lots that are within 500 feet of them.
Okay. I see some of the streets are using the third color, like District 2, District 1, District 6. They street? Are they street owned by land bank? No, I don't think so. Those look
No, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that part of the map.
uh,
Uh, I see what you mean there with the line. That oh, actually, there might be hold on, those might be actually project coordination areas. So like the DGC has a hold on like I-96 area. So like the buffer is uh those might just be project coordination areas where we have the hold. Like we put the hold on the whole entire map, but necessarily we might not have land there. Just the color is there,
okay.
if that makes
And the
sense.
last, oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. So it might be depends on what the project is. We have
Right.
to
Yeah.
take a look about that. So the last symbology is the project hold area. So some parcels are very small, like individual parcels on the map too. What are those about?
The hold area, so you mean like the really small ones?
Yes,
These are probably
yes.
just small projects that the city is doing.
Okay. or like a community block club developed area, developed land.
I feel like this map, the like, it doesn't look that like there's just probably like maybe there are sometimes, or like we work with DWSD and they're doing like a project where they're replacing pipes or things like that. So we put things on hold while they're doing work. So we do stuff like that too. So it could be
Oh,
just something smaller like DWSD doing a project or the Parks Department doing a small park study and they don't want to go their boundaries are just not that big.
oh, okay, okay. And those are like can be City of Detroit's project or some private company's project to
No,
planning.
only no, we only put only the city of Detroit can place holds.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah.
you. Thank you for the explanation. I think that's all my questions.
Okay. Catherine?
Hi, Shelby. I have a question. Well, first of all, it's kind of a question, but more of an ask. So I just want to know, like, I know about the great work you were doing at the planning department, the planning and development department, and now you're at the DLBA. And I also am aware of how the planning department has a strong relationship with the DLBA and how there's coordination between the two. Could you just like speak on that and maybe how, I'm curious to know, like, how is that a strength for you too, being at the DLBA, like having past experience at the planning department and now being a reuse manager at the DLBA. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So the project coordination with the city, we primarily work with PDD. That's what most of these holds are. There are so the CD, a PDD, if they're having any kind of planning study or trying to do any research on the area, we work with them to place holds on the area. That's um, but for me, it's interesting because I have a relationship with PDD, so I'm able to work out a lot more strategy with them and thinking, and also when we're marketing our vacant lots, I know more about the market just because I was in planning and development department, so I know kind of what they're thinking, what they want to see, and we can market some of our land towards the development that they will want to see. So it's yeah, I think they go hand in hand. Thanks, Catherine.
Yeah, thank you, Shelby. And then I just have one more question. I know that this map, could use a bit of work, but when you
Yes.
begin a work, it always has room for growth, right? And so
Yeah.
my question is, will you guys be like releasing one of these each year annually, or is this like a every 2 year? How often do you think that we can see? Because I found this map incredibly helpful in 2024 for some of the projects we were doing in the MUP program. And so I would love to see more of this map.
Yeah, so we're trying to build out our website right now. It is very not user friendly at all. So we're in the process of doing that currently, and hopefully, and we're building out our research and analysis team, which is in my department. Not the team that I lead, but a different team, and they're trying to build up their team right now. And actually, we're hiring for positions and within
That's
our
great.
department to do that. Yeah.
Thank you, Shelby.
Um, Catherine?
Hi. I was just curious because I think my question has partially been answered. But I was curious about the relationship between the city and the DLBA in just in terms of, yeah, like who is what roles are being played, and like it sounds like from what you're saying, the DLBA mostly does kind of the interface of like here's what this looks like on the map. Here's this, we can divide it up and make it visual and make it appealing. It's kind of like a liaison with the
Yeah.
anybody who might be interested versus the city is the one deciding which areas are going to be held, and or is it more like the city makes recommendations and the DLBA confers? Like, is there like how are
Yeah.
like does the
So
DLBA ever have any like influence on what goes on ultimately in terms of those holds or how land is
yeah.
sold?
Yeah, definitely. So we do the selling of the land. We do when we're doing the project coordination area, we definitely have influence on like, hey, we know that residents in this area are trying to um like we know this, we have the data to back our we have the data to show what residents are doing and what they're looking for, as in when it comes to them buying side lots. So sometimes we use that to like talk to planning officials when they're trying to place holds on areas. We just try to always have the residents in mind, just because we know that they would like to buy land in their area also. So ultimately, I would say the city has the definite like an answers, yes or no, to if they want to put holds on it, but we definitely give our expertise on vacant land and what's selling in the area and what projects are going through. But the city has ultimate, if they want a project to happen, yes or no, that's the city's is the final answer, I guess I would say, and our
Yeah.
board as well.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. That's helpful.
I
Mm.
wonder, are this map available for us to download?
Yeah, it's gonna be on our website, in the land review area, and then we also have like a let me see if I can bring up our website. We also have an interactive map that we have on our website for to see any available property that we have. Let me pull it up. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So I excuse the website is not that user friendly. But if you go to properties and then all listing map, it will show our interactive map. So if anybody's looking for property to buy and then it shows all the different programs that the lots are in would be here. You can, put an address in and find out if that is listed for us currently. And then for the land review area maps, it will be under our land reuse tab here, and it will be over here on land review areas and the map. You can access the map here. And then you can also read our policies on like on the land review areas, what kind of holds we have, and what lots are available in the holds and not. So we have like a table here for residents to understand.
I mean, it was this one just for us to review. If for the students, if they want to analyze the spatial relationship, they want to use ArcGIS Pro and they use your map as a open to download yet. I know in the last
Oh,
semester
no, we just have a
and
static
that.
map. No.
Yeah, I think I can find the land banks maps, but it's set as not editable something.
Yeah, it's a static map. Yeah, no, we don't have our well, that's a good point too. I can definitely talk to our research analysis team to see if that's available. But for right now, publicly it's not.
Okay. Here.
Okay. Catherine?
Yes, I have one more question for you, Shelby. I was thinking about some of the community feedback that I had received over the last few years and them just expressing like their struggles with accessing land at the land bank. And I was just wondering, like, is there any new tools being used or education or community engagement components that are allowing our residents to have a more streamlined process to access the land and the properties that they're trying to purchase?
Yeah, so right now we're going through we have a strategic plan that will be published hopefully soon. Well, it has to get approved first and then it'll be published soon. But yeah, through that process, we definitely took in what residents were saying to us about transparency. And I think that we just have to do a better job at making sure people are understanding what the holds mean, because a lot of the time those are the issues, is that either the land is on hold by the city and or it's in our inventory, but there is like taxes on it and we have to clear all those taxes and things like that. So I think in the future, we're definitely looking forward to like being better communicating what the issues are with the lots and why they're not for sale currently. Because ultimately the land bank, we don't want the land. We want to see it in residents' hands or in like good development. But definitely we're working on that.
Great. Thank you, Shelby.
went through it pretty quick, but any more questions? Okay.
Well, I want to thank you so much to everyone who attended today, and especially Shelby. Thank you so much for your time. This has been incredibly informative. And if you can put a plug, because I know, as Professor Zhu said, it would be great to be able to have, like, you know, how we have the open data portal. If we could access land bank data, that would be an excellent resource for students and professionals. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And we do have like 2 positions open, so maybe I don't know who I can give that to like I guess I can just give it to, I can email Mohammed and have them post that for you guys,
Yeah, that
for
would
the
be
students.
awesome. I'm sure there's a lot of students that would be interested in those positions.
Well, thanks everybody.
Thank you, Shelby.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Again.